Hello and welcome into the newest episode of Pat's Latest. I'm your host, Mike Gambardella, and we break down another big day of Patriots news, including a longtime captain no longer with the Patriots. A lot of those coming in the recent days. But before we get started, please make sure to go down and subscribe for our channel, turn on alerts to get the latest news sent right to your device, and make sure to get in the comments and let us know what you think of the Patriots moves thus far, and be sure to give us a like and check out our other videos so you can get up to date on everything going on with the New England Patriots. We start with the news that David Andrews, the longtime captain of the New England Patriots, the former undrafted Mola from Georgia, is gone. He is no longer with the Patriots after word from the Pats that he is officially cut. It is shocking. It's someone that we thought would be absolutely be able to continue to be an anchor on the offensive line for the Patriots. That is completely reconstructing that unit, also bringing in a new position coach in Doug Marrone, and with Morgan Moses now getting set to anchor the right side at tackle, and Michael Onwenu getting kicked back inside. We thought really that right side and middle with David Andrews as well was going to be the strength of this offensive line. The news, again, still just jarring, but what this tells us is that there's a little bit more going on with the health of David Andrews than we apparently know. Do not be surprised if this is a situation that we saw play out the same way as Julian Edelman back in 2021, where a lot of injuries have just started to pile up and have taken its toll on a guy who's really given his heart and soul, not just to football, but to the Patriots. There is a lot of conjecture around that. Should David Andrews come out in the next few days and announce that he is retiring, not to say that that announcement is imminent, but the Patriots absolutely would hold a ceremony for him to honor his dedication and everything, a multi-time Super Bowl champion, everything really that he has done for the Patriots organization and fan base, and completely deserving of that. As I said, it's jarring as well to see several captains from last year's and previous season's teams no longer with us, whether that be Jonathan Jones, Dietrich Wise, and now David Andrews. The difference here is that this is the first player that was actually set to start again for the Patriots this coming season. And again, it tells us that perhaps David Andrews was not ready to start. And it's not a position the Patriots can stay in, is that they need to have a roster ready to compete and ready to go. And unfortunately, that will not include David Andrews. For the center position, Ben Brown stepped in last year in place of Andrews, who fought injury for the majority of the season and missed the majority of the season as well. Will probably return in that backup role. And it does open up the door for Cole Strange, the former first-round pick, who did play 2 games at center at the end of the season, a chance for him to capture that spot. Also, do not be surprised if the Patriots start testing the free agent waters for the center position as well. Bradbury from the Vikings was recently cut on Thursday and could be a good lineup for the position for the Patriots. But if they choose to run it with Cole Strange, it could be an area for some draft capital to be spent potentially as early as the 3rd round for the Patriots, but probably more in the 4th or 5th. Again, the line will continue to be something that Mike Vrabel harps on, as you must win in the trenches to be successful in this league. Going from one Patriot that is no longer with us to potentially one of your new favorite players in Milton Williams. And it's not just because he is now the highest paid player in franchise history. Yes, Milton Williams, the defensive tackle that the Patriots signed from the Philadelphia Eagles just 2 days ago, he is the highest paid player, not Tom Brady. It was Milton Williams by $1 million. That could be the name of a book at a certain point. Tom Brady previously checking in at $25 million per year as the highest paid contract. Milton Williams getting now $26 million. And the Patriots introduced their new free agents along with Robert Spillane, Carlton Davis, and Harold Landry as well. And Milton went on to say, all the right things and how he's excited to be a Patriot and how he felt that New England truly wanted him. And obviously, the phrase money talks really comes into play. And we saw that as Carolina was announced as the team that was going to get him. And it looked like a done deal. But the Patriots were able to go up their ante, up the offer, and sign the guy that they wanted. Some extra context that we discovered on Thursday was due to the Chris Godwin deal. Chris Godwin went back to Tampa Bay on a discounted deal to stay, quote unquote, home to play with Baker Mayfield and Mike Evans. It turns out that he turned down a $28 to $30 million a year deal to come to the Patriots. That is some big time money. So that's nearly leaving $10 million a year on the table at that point. When Chris Godwin turned down the offer from the Patriots, New England immediately went and upped their offer for Milton in fear of losing, really, two of their top free agent targets. So they assured themselves of being able to get, or I should say, two of their top three guys that they wanted in Godwin, Milton, and Howard Landry. So kudos to the Patriots for recognizing the situation, going out and getting that. For Milton as well, kudos for him for having a strong social media presence. He's already updated all of his stuff. There's some good edits of him in a Patriots jersey. And actually on his story on Thursday, found an article from Sports Illustrated that graded the signing of Williams as an F. He immediately quote tweet or quote posted, put it in his story, and said, we'll see. So this is a guy that is paying attention, a guy that gets it, and is eager to make his mark as a young player in this league, one that is now getting paid as a top defender, and someone who will have a chance to immediately prove that in Mike Vrabel's new scheme. Additionally, he will have some help on that defensive line as those free agent signings on the defensive side of the ball continue to come for the Patriots. Maybe not another starter, but someone as a rotational end and someone that, if you say a recent name, Josh Uche, that role could easily be filled now by Clavon Chason. Recent first-round pick of the Jacksonville Jaguars and a tie-in to the coaching staff with Doug Marrone now being here, the former head coach that drafted him. Chason had a tough start to his time in the NFL with Jacksonville, fought through some injuries, and had just 5 sacks in the first few years since he was drafted. This past year, he signed as a free agent with the Las Vegas Raiders and really came on. Pro Football Focus rated him as a 74.7 pass rush grade this past year, which actually ranked him in the top 25 of all pass rushers in the NFL. That's of 109 that were actually ranked. Additionally, he had just 5 sacks in his first few years with the Jaguars. He had 5 last year. So he is a guy that is figuring it out, and on a 1-year, $5 million deal, something that really makes sense for the Patriots and really has now drilled home now something for Elliott Wolf and for Mike Vrabel. They've gone and identified the issues, the pass rush, the being able to stop the run, getting Milton Williams, Chason, Harold Landry, Robert Spillane, really starting to beef up this unit, and one that could, again, return to form of being a top 10 unit that we saw in 2022, not that far off, and being able to have now 2 cornerbacks that can go out and do it. Mike Vrabel talked about having 2 cats back there. You got this cat, and you take that cat, and we'll figure the rest out. And they've liked the safety unit that the Patriots already had in place, really keeping everything together here, again, with yesterday's signing of Jalen Hawkins. Finally, we'll end today with looking at the latest from Cooper Kupp. And the big news is expect a decision quickly on who Cooper Kupp decides to sign with. He was cut yesterday, and now probably within 48 to 72 hours, we'll have a good sense of where he will be playing next year. One report says that he wants to stay on the West Coast, which is not a huge surprise. And the tough part is the Los Angeles Chargers would make a lot of sense as someone who is able to stay pretty much in the same stadium, wouldn't have to move. The question is, will his price be met? The latest report is that even though, Cooper Kupp is getting up there in age and The contract is something that stopped the Patriots from, trading for him already, at $12.5 million this past year. He's expecting to be fairly close to that. Now, is it $9 million? Is it $10 million? He's probably closer right now with his agent to that $10 million mark, which is a little too high. The Patriots probably could sign him if they offered the same contract right now, and they're not quite ready to do that. And again, for a player who's about to turn 32, has injury questions, and has slowed down, even when it comes to metrics and separation at the line of scrimmage, a big one for him, it bears taking a beat. Again, we know the problems that the Patriots have at the wide receiver position, and Cooper Kupp could go a long way towards fixing that. But again, he is not the cure-all for those problems either. So being smart about this, Mike Vrabel also remarked on Thursday that there are a lot more signings that the Patriots do need to make, and obviously we know the offensive line and wide receiver position are it. Unfortunately, now it looks like wide receiver, tackle, guard, and center, now with David Andrews out. But the wide receiver position will be addressed, I would say, sooner rather than later. And if the Patriots decide, with still having over $100 million in cap space, that they wouldn't mind going up as long as they can keep it as a short-term deal, a 1 or 2 year deal for Kupp as opposed to a 3 or 4, they could be in play to get someone like Cooper Kupp. The big difference here is that, again, the Chargers were a playoff team last year and the Patriots were not. It's a new culture for the Patriots. It's not established. Jim Harbaugh already has a year under his belt and be able to do that. Can you pitch Cooper Kupp and get him over there? Absolutely, but it becomes a big decision for Kupp and his family, and what ends up being easiest, and does $2 million facilitate a trip cross country for a couple of years? That is a fair question at that time. Again, we'll have the latest for you on Cooper Kupp and everything else. Expect more offensive signings for the Patriots in the coming days. And again, we are seeing the clock tick down. The end of March is in our sights. We'll have the latest from NFL Pro Days for top scouts and prospects coming across the board. And we'll have everything NFL Draft coming your way as well. Again, thanks for watching here today. Make sure to go down and subscribe for our channel, turn on notifications, get in the comments, and let us know who you think the Patriots should be their final signings in free agency and the top picks for the NFL Draft. And we will be back with everything for you in the coming days and months. Fight on, Foxborough.